Everybody's gone crazy. Where have all the dreamers gone? Or have we all just gotten lazy? Something's got to give. There won't be much life left to live. Please send a sign from up above. And if I gotta choose, I choose love. I choose love. I choose love. No one's gonna make me hate. I choose love. I choose love. No one's gonna take that away. Ooh, something strange is in the air. Seems that everybody's changing, and I can't find no faith anywhere. Seems it's been replaced with raging. Something's got to give. There won't be much life left to live. Please send a sign from up above. And if I gotta choose, I choose love. I choose love. I choose love. No one's gonna make me hate. I choose love. I choose love. No one's gonna take that away. No one can take that from me. I see what I choose to see. Reality is what you make it. So why would I ever choose hatred? I choose love. I choose love. No one's gonna make me hate. I choose love. I choose love. No one's gonna take that away. I choose love. I choose love. No one's gonna make me hate. I choose love. I choose love. And if I can take that away, I choose love.
What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to the Progressive Action TV show. We here live and direct. Outside, man. Outside. It was steaming earlier today. It cooled down a little bit. You know, and while we here right now, I need you guys to like the video. Like the video. If you watching this and you not subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for to subscribe? Also, if you want to be able to comment on the YouTube, you must be a member of the channel. And to be a member of the channel, it is 99 cents a month. Just 99 cents. 99 cents, 99 cents. Just to be a member of the channel so you could comment in the chat. I'm happy to have y'all here with me today. We got some things to talk about. If you work today, you know it was what they used to say back in the days, blazing hip hop and R&B outside. It was blazing hip hop and R&B outside today. I mean, it didn't even feel good. It didn't even feel good. Like it's nasty outside. It's nasty outside. Um, and you know, a few people hit me up and was like, "Yo, um, what are we supposed to do with this heat? What's up with this heat? What are we supposed to do with the heat? You know, it's too hot to work." Listen, that's why I named the show what I named the show today. We seriously need to take a stand because we falling for anything and everything, right? No grown person should be contacting me because they feel like they are about to die. We all have a responsibility for ourselves. We have a responsibility to make it home to our families the same way we left our house. We have a responsibility for that. The transit authority do not care about you. The union administration is just going to do the bare minimum to make you think that they care when we know that they really don't care, right? If it's 100 degrees outside, it's about 130 in the subways, right? So if you're doing platform on the subways, in the subways, you shouldn't be working down there. Fill out a safety rule dispute resolution form. There's no such thing as, oh, go down there until you feel like that you need air or until you feel like you too hot. If you feel like that you're hot, because some people can regulate high temperatures better than others, right? But if you're one of those people who cannot regulate these high temperatures, you should not be in the subways working. It's unsafe for you. You could catch a heat stroke. You could pass out. A lot of things can happen to you while working in the subways, right? During these extreme temperatures. You got to stay hydrated. You got to drink some water. You got to take your breaks if you are working in this mess. But nobody should be calling me like they're 5 years old. What you want me to do? You have to take action. You must fill out a safety rule dispute resolution form, and you must stand up for yourself. You must advocate for yourself. We all grown. We all grown. We must have that responsibility like we grown. We grown in every other section, but when it's time to stand up against management, some of us turn into kids. I don't get it, but I am here to help. I'm gonna tell you what to do. No, I'm not going to that train station to see how hot it is. Tramel, it's very hot. I believe you. I'm not going down there to see how hot it is. You know, you must find a way how to stand up for yourself. Now, like I said, the phone lines are open. They're going to be open for look like a hour and 50 minutes. I don't know if I'm gonna be on that long though, because I got things to do. But I upgraded my system again. So I'm gonna be doing way more stuff in this location. I'm even thinking like when it get cold outside, I think I'm gonna put on a goose, a North Face bubble. I think I'm gonna do this outside too. I think I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna have an inside location and I'm gonna have an outside location. I think that's just how I'm gonna do it. But the outside location, this location, I am going to invite guests to sit in and conversate, regarding the real serious issues. Like if you're a manager, you want to come have this conversation and you want to do this because you want to get at the transit authority or you want to let your issues be heard, we could do that here. And I think that's what we're going to do. Um, so, you know, one of the reasons I decided to do this show today, because besides the temperature being high and people calling me, asking me for advice and what to do, if you haven't noticed, one of the reasons, or one of the main reasons, or a few of the main reasons why I've decided to be an advocate for transit workers was because I never agreed with a lot of the policy that they have here. A lot of the policy is very oppressive. They treat us like criminals. I won't even say they treat us like children. They treat us like we are, like Paul McPhee said one day, like recidivists. There's nothing positive about someone calling you a recidivist, right? They treat us like criminals. And just to give you some insight, right? Wait, hold on. I'm shouting out all super chat. Shout out to my boy LaShawn Craig. He just sent the $5 super chat. He said, "Brother, I'm having difficulty subscribing. YouTube is tripping, or maybe I'm doing something wrong." I don't know. We'll speak about it later. I don't know what's going on with that, but we could check that out later. But the thing is, you can also call in too. The phone lines are open. 563-999-3714. So when I really pay attention to what's going on and how they treat us, let's just think about this. We are all grown folks. 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s in some cases, right? We are all grown. We work at a job. because this is not a career. Make that clear. I said that on my last show. This is not a career. This is a job, right? We work at a job that you have to ask for permission to get another job. Picture that, right? Because people don't understand how these systems work. There is a such thing as economic slavery, right? So we work at a job where the transit authority wants you to be dependent on their money only. Because if you're dependent on their money only, they have more control over you. If you get an outside income, they don't have that much control, right? So, me as a grown man, I have to ask my job, can I have another job, right? When they don't want to give us the proper wages we deserve, everything is an excuse, right? People say, oh, well, why don't you do an audio or late clear? That's not available to every position. Cleaners, that's not available to cleaners all the time. It's not available to people in car equipment. It's not available to people in track. Like overtime is not available all the time, and it's specifically in every department. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ebony Stewart. She just joined the channel, 99 cents. Shout out to her. The thing is, not every department or title can get overtime, right? So if you solely dependent on the transit authority salary, and then you got to ask these same people, hey, may I have another job? That's economic slavery. That's economic slavery. That's what people do when they want to have control over you. You're a grown man or a grown woman, and you have to ask the MTA, can you have another job? And it's not only that, right? Think about this. When you have a family member pass away. Now they made changes in the contract to include more family members, but who are they to say how close we are to certain family members? Some people is not close to their siblings. Some people are not close to their uh, parents. Some people are not close to their uncles and aunts, but they may be very close to their cousin. So you want to go attend a funeral or whatever the case is, you gotta ask for permission to do it for one, and then you gotta bring in proof that you was there. Now I get it. Some people can take advantage of that and have a new family member die every week. I get that. But that's not most of us, right? And for the transit authority to think that most of us will abuse something like that, that really shows you how they view us. That really shows you that they don't trust us. They don't believe us. Because in corporate MTA to Broadway, they just got to say, hey, I got to go to my cousin's funeral. All right, we just give you the day. But when it comes to these operation titles, these titles that these bosses really frown down upon, we got to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that we're going to do what we're going to do. Right? I remember one time my son's school had something called Daddies and Donuts. And I called the crew office. I said, look, hey, I'm not going to be here, X, Y, and Z. You know, I'm going to my son event. Oh, you know, you have to show like an email or something. I'm not showing y'all nothing. I'm going to my son event. I'm not showing anything. I'm going to my son event. If the bosses at 2 Broadway don't have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that they going to do something like that, then why should we? Right? There's just certain things we should not even be complying with. Right? We sick. We home. You got to call in and out of your house. What is this? Is this how you treat your workers? Do they not see that as being oppressive? And that's why I say that we seriously need to take a stand because we're falling for everything. At what point do we, as transit workers, say enough is enough? When do we say, you know what? I'm not complying to this, right? And I'm not expecting one individual to go out there and say, "Hey, I'm not complying," because it's easy for the MTA to pick off one individual. But when are we going to stand together as a union and say that we're not going to comply with this oppressive behavior by the MTA? When are we going to say that? When you go to funerals, some of that stuff is sacred to the family. Like they don't want to be sending the obituary to anybody, or the transit authority even got the nerve to ask for death certificates in some situations. Right? They don't have the authority. Who are they to do that? You think if somebody in Richard Davy nuclear family pass away that he got to hand over an obituary or death certificate to prove that he was going to do what he was going to do? That's insane. That's literally out of this world. But guess what? We are complicit. Our union administration is complicit, right? And I don't know how many times do I have to say this, but the union officers of the union, they work for the members. We don't work for them. That needs to be clear because this union administration, and I'm only going to speak on the administration that I experienced since I became a transit worker, the Stand United ideology. And you got some good reps, you got some bad reps, but it seems like there's more bad than good when it comes to local 100 offices. And they think that once they get elected, that they are above their constituents. They are above the members that they are sworn to represent. And we have to reverse that way of thinking. Us as being union members, we must understand that they work for us. When we call, we expect them to answer the phone. We don't expect we make 3 phone calls and we getting voicemail after voicemail after voicemail after voicemail. That's not how it's supposed to work. Right? That's not how it's supposed to work. When we call a union rep, we expect them to know whatever we ask them. Right? But in this union, the people who run for union, most of them, the majority of them, they run to have the perks of not working the job that they was hired to do. So you have train operators and conductors who are union reps, right? And they not stupid. Everybody see from administration to administration how lackadaisical a lot of the offices are, right? And leadership starts at the top. If you have a union president not holding them accountable, then guess what happens? You got a union president not holding them accountable, then guess what happens? We get the results that we get, right? You don't know how many times one of the most common complaints that I get from union members is that they can't find a rep or reps is not picking up their phone, right? You got reps in buses. They don't want to drive a bus. So guess what? Guess what they want to do? And guess what? They don't want to drive a bus, or they don't want to sweep the platform. They don't want to operate train, want to work on the track. They don't want to be station agents. You want to know why they don't really want to be that? For the same reasons that we complain. For the same concerns that we have, right? Oh, it's too safe. It's too unsafe. You know, it's too unsafe for me to be on that platform. It's too unsafe for me to operate that bus. It's too unsafe for me to operate that train or be in the or be outside that token booth. So they do everything in their power to get out of those conditions in which they leave us in, and they get into positions where they're supposed to advocate for us, and then they leave us with no voice. Right? This is what happens. We got a new person signed up, Charlene Masick. Hope I got that right. Thanks for becoming a member. But they get into the union administration for all the wrong reasons. It's to not do their job. Right? And if I'm wrong or I'm right and you want to discuss it, y'all see the phone number on the screen. Call in. Let's talk about it. Somebody says a lot of static when I talk. I don't know why. It's a lot of static. I'll fix that later. But it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Matter of fact, let me see something real quick. Hold on. It's crazy. Oh yeah, it is a lot of static. I don't know what's going on. Let me see something real quick. It is a lot of static. Let me see. Let me see. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Yeah. I don't know why. I gotta adjust this. I'm using my other mixer. I gotta adjust that, but we go still get through the show. Nothing go stop this. Charlene says she got a letter from the funeral home office. Yeah, but we shouldn't have to submit anything. We shouldn't have to submit anything. Right? I mean, I look at that's being complicit. And I get it. We have to comply in some form of fashion, but hold on one second. Yeah, we have to comply in some form of fashion, but this is crazy. This is insane, right? So let me see. Maybe it's this. Let me turn this down. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I want to play a video for you guys because this is the reason, you know, sometimes we get assaulted because they put out the wrong narratives on us out there. And I want to play this video. I want you guys to see it, and then we're going to discuss it. Check it out.
Their pay. An MTA Lieutenant Robert Rao increased his base salary of $168,000 to over $386,000. Since his hourly salary was $78, that meant he logged 2,722 hours of overtime, $136,000 more than Governor Hochul and $128,000 more than Mayor Adams.
Anyone who doubled their pay with overtime should have their records at least double checked at the MTA.
A lot of it is driven by the fact that we have a lot of vacancies coming out of COVID.
I told the MTA, you need to control your costs because our riders are doing their part.
A new study by the Empire Center showing the expanding number of members.
Did y'all see that? Do the microphone sound better? Let me see something. 1 2 1 2. Let me see something. Did y'all see that? Do the microphone sound better? Nah, it don't sound better. I don't know what's going on with the microphone, but we gonna still get through it. So they ran a video talking about all this overtime. MTA workers is getting all this overtime. But it wasn't MTA New York City Transit workers, right? You watch that video, they was talking about MTA police, the railroads. It was not New York City Transit. right? Why are we being held accountable for things that we are not responsible for, right? So when we doing our jobs and we encounter passengers, some passengers love to say, "Oh, I pay your salary. I pay your salary." They love to say that part, right? I know y'all experience passengers who say, um, I pay your salary. I pay your, we always experience that. But this is irresponsible journalism, right? They put all the overtime. We must realize what's really going on here. These journalists are not stupid. They know the demographics that make up most of New York City transit. They know that we're mostly black. So they want to put it that, they when they speak in a narrative, their wrong narrative, that, this overtime, they like to show buses, they like to show trains, but they never show what they really supposed to be showing. They never show the agencies that really make the money, right? They never show Long Island Railroad, Metro North, MTA Police. They never show those guys. They rather show New York City Transit. They want to keep the public mad at us. They want to keep the public upset at us. This is their plan. This is what they set out to do. And guess what? There's actually no rebuttal from the union regarding this. There's absolutely no rebuttal from the union, right? There's no rebuttal. And this is not a misstep. Don't think that this was done by accident, people. This is done time and time and time again. Part of a journalist's job is to do the research before you promote the story. These journalists do this on purpose. This is a sleight of hand to keep the public mad at us. They don't want the workers and the public to get along. They want to keep that animosity. We see the MTA do it. Every time we got to negotiate a contract, guess what the MTA narrative is? Oh, we have to raise fares. So what's understood don't need to be said. If they saying that they know negotiating our contract and then they have to raise the fares, then guess what? The public thinks our fares is being risen because they got to pay the workers. So now the public be mad at the workers. And this type of narrative, even these overtime narratives, do the research. These overtime narratives of we making more money than Kathy Hochul and Eric Adams and Jan Oliva, those narratives always come after we sign our contract. This is a fact. This is a fact. Because they want to keep that animosity going. They want to keep that antagonistic relationship that we have with the public going. This is what they do. And our union administration, they don't do anything different. They don't do anything different because they sit there and watch this happen. They sit there and remain silent while these wrong narratives are taking place. Like they say, when you choose silence, you choose the side of the oppressor. So every time our union administration decides to be silent against these narratives, they chose the MTA side and they chose the media side. They not on our side. They not on the member side. They are on everybody else's side but the people who pay them. We see this time and time again. We see this during contract negotiations. This contract negotiation, it was blatant as to how this union administration conducted themselves. It didn't take much to see that this union administration was not for us. It did not take much to see that. But once again, go back to the title of the show. We seriously need to take a stand because we are falling for everything and anything. At what point do we say enough is enough? At what point do we hold the people that we pay? Because the union do not work for free. They don't work for free. If they had to do this for free, if they had to be in my position and do this virtually for free, without no guaranteed income, they'd rather be back on a bus and train. It's a payday. They getting paid and they not doing nothing or little to nothing. This is a fact. And if any union rep feel any different, feel free to call in. I'm taking calls. 563-999-3714. Let's talk about it. I only been on the air. I've been on the air since 2016. And the union reps been running ever since 2016. Because they know I'm not lying. They go into their little social groups. They create their fake Facebook pages. And they say, you know what? Trammell is lying. He's lying. He's this, he's that. Well, if I'm lying so much, why don't you guys come and let's talk about it? I think that an honest, open discussion works best for everyone. It works best for every single last one of us. I don't get why they don't want to talk about these issues. I just don't get it. Why they don't want to talk about these issues. These people is crazy. I tell you what, it's hot as hell out here. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Let me see this microphone situation again. I gotta try to figure out what's going on. Let me see something. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. I think I'm gonna switch my mixer. I upgraded everything except the mixer. I'm gonna upgrade the mixer. I'm gonna upgrade the mixer next week. But yeah, this is insane. Let me see something. Is it this? Let me see something. While y'all waiting, feel free to share out the show. Feel free to like and subscribe. Feel free to join. It's only 99 cents to join. It is only 99 cents to join. You should join the channel. All right, it's not nothing on the inside of the computer. It's the mixer. I gotta set the settings up better. But we must do better. Everything that we complain about can be fixed fast if we stop being complicit. Every single last thing. We complain, the union not respecting us. We could change that. None of our ills here. None of our ills here in New York City Transit is permanent. None. Not one of them. Everything can change if we decide to stand up. Every single last thing can change if we decide to take a stand. It is as simple as that. We just need to take a stand. That's it. Make sure. I don't know why my other computer. Yeah, like I said, if you want to call in 563-999-3714. I ain't gonna lie, I should have did this inside. It is blazing. It is blazing here. I'm trying to figure out what else I need to do to fix the microphone. I don't know what else I need to do. I'm gonna turn all this stuff on though, just to see what happens. Let me see. Jaden is on the other side of this camera. He just did a crazy trick just now. He's gonna end up in the hospital. Come here, son. Give me 5. Give me 5. Come here. Give me 5, man. Yeah, come here. Give me 5. It's okay. Give me 5. Ah, that's my guy. That's my guy right there. That's my guy right there. That is my guy. We getting it in. We getting it in. Let me see something. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all, man. Y'all calling in from a block number. You can't call in the show from a block number. You gotta call in using your phone. I'm not taking no block calls. You gotta release that phone number. We not doing that. For those who just joined the broadcast, make sure to share it out. Make sure to like, share. It's 99 cents to join. 99 cents to join. Only 99 cents to join. A few people that's called in, and they called in from numbers that I do not recognize. I mean, I don't need to recognize it, but it don't need to say 111111111. Don't need to say that. It need to say a number. You call in with a number, and we will hear what you got to say, because this show isn't about me. Like, if I could just take phone calls just to hear the members, hear new ideas, hear complaints, create solutions to these problems, because like I said, none of our issues are permanent. Not one of our issues are permanent. We could change today. Let's go to the first caller. Caller 9079. You now live on Progressive Action TV. What's your name? Where you calling from? Let me see. Did that cut off? Caller. 9079. 9079. 9079. Are you there? Are you there? Are you there? I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that caller. Sometimes what happens is that I can hear them, but they can't hear me, but I don't hear them. Oh, that probably was me. Let me bring them back. Hold on, caller. Oh, caller, call back. Call back. Caller, call back. Let's get back to it. Caller, call back. I had your volume down. Caller, call back. Let's get these phone calls going. Shout out to my the new people who joined the channel. 99 cents to join. Let me ask y'all a question. How would y'all feel if Progressive Action was to disappear tomorrow? How would y'all feel? Who would be advocating? What platforms would y'all go to? Everybody should be doing lives. Everybody should be posting about the issues. Everybody should be trying to do rallies. Everybody should be holding people accountable. This is a group effort. This is a group effort. You know what I'm saying? This is a group effort. Nobody should be relying on other grown people to make their life better. Absolutely not. We should be working together as a team, as a coalition, as a union to make this whole and to make our existence better. Now, you have some supervisors that come and, once they become supervisors, they forget where they came from. They don't understand that once you become a supervisor, your power, you may have power over hourlies, but your power as a collective bargaining unit, it decreases because there's not enough supervisors, right? There's just not, compared to the hourlies. We should be a tandem, especially dispatchers. We should be a tandem. We should be working hand to hand and sticking together. But some people become supervisors and they thinking that they sitting on top of the world. Who sung that song, Brandy? Sitting on top of the world. They think that they sitting on top of the world. To the caller who called in, you could call back. That was my fault. That was my fault. Oh, man. You know, this is like having on earmuffs in like 90-degree weather. It's very, very crazy. Very, very crazy. But let me see something. Yeah, we must do better. I mean, like, seeing members vote yes for this contract, I don't know what the hell they was thinking. I mean, all the evidence is out there. All evidence is out there to show you that what inflation is. All the evidence is out there to tell you about Medicare Advantage. All the evidence is out there. And like I said, the MTA was very smart. And they were smart on the part that they got the union administration to agree to Medicare Advantage in our contract versus what the city did when they tried to just implement it like in some legislative way. Well, the retirees in the city, they fought it back through the courts. But the union, you know, they did something different. Let me get back to this caller. Caller 9079, you now live on Progressive Action TV. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, what's going on, bro? This is Nick, train operator from the A.
Nick, train operator from the A. What's on your mind, my brother?
Yeah, man. I just want to say you guys are hitting the nail on the head. Like, we definitely got to stand up. You were just talking about people voting yes on the contract. I know a couple of people who voted yes on the contract just for that lump sum of $3,000 because they scrapped for cash, which was, I told them that was a horrible idea, but they needed it. Like, you know, there's a lot of people down here who are unfortunately in debt because of the way, you know, transit handles things.
You're 100% right. A lot of that the authority is not stupid, right? They know their clientele. They know their employees. They know that most of us, and I'm gonna give it a high number. I believe like 90% of the workers is working check to check, living check to check. And when you live in check to check, like I spoke about in the beginning of the show, there's a thing called economic slavery. It's easy to convince a starving man to eat spoiled food than a person who eats on a regular to eat spoiled food. Right? So when you got people living check to check and they say, oh, we're going to give you a $3,000 bonus, which is not $3,000, it's going to end up being like $1,500, $1,200 or something like that. Like, how far is that really going to take you? You know, but like we said, I mean, like you said, you know, people is falling victim to the bonus because they need the money. How much time you have as a train operator?
I just passed a year, but I had 6 years as a conductor.
All right, so you've been in the transit authority for 7 years.
Yeah, and coming from a conductor, you know, flaggers down there. I don't, you know, not to talk bad about my people, but a lot of those dudes are in gambling debt because all they do is gamble. So, especially with the sports betting now, I know a couple of dudes that took pension loans just to sports gamble. It's nuts.
Wow.
But and then on top of that, the way the union, you know, came and they knew what they were doing. They campaigned to the newer people. So, you know, me sitting in there listening because they don't know I came from conductor. I'm like, that's all bull crap. But they came and campaigned to the new people and made it sound good. So they got the people that in debt and the new people on their side, and they won. They got what they wanted.
Well, they didn't win in RTO. They won in the other departments. But let me ask you this. Where do you see this job in 10 years?
I see it now. The way people are leaving left and right, the people are just using this job. It's going to be a stepping stone. Like, all right, I need to do something when I get out of college. Let me just do this, and then they're going to move on to better things because this job is not it anymore. Like, you walk along the street, and the older people think, oh, MTA, yeah, they think you have money, and they really have no clue, like, what this job has become. They're very antiquated in the way they do things here. So this is the scheduling, like just getting days off, and these newer people are saying, no, I'm not giving up this. They're valuing their family time, so a lot of people are just handing in their tools and walking away. And Trend is in a panic. Like they have another train operator class coming out now. Like they just been hiring because a lot of people have been quitting.
So you came on
And
you came on around what, 2016 or something like that?
Yeah, 2016 I started as a conductor.
All right, 2016 you came in, so you're tier 6 for sure.
No. Thank God I had another city job prior.
Oh,
So
you lucky. You lucky. you lucky. You're not with us.
Yeah.
You're not with us tier 6 people. But
Yeah, but
yeah, go ahead.
just the way they treat people. And like I was telling, even if they didn't want to give us the money, cool. You could have, I sued us over, gave us, some of the things that would have been more than money to me, such as the disciplinary actions, allow more slots for days off, or even with the vacation pick, allow more slots for a couple of guys to get, a couple of extra people to get days off in the summer, because it's ridiculous. As a conductor, I think I didn't get one measly week in the summer until maybe my 4th or 5th year, which is insane. And even now, I'm going through trouble as a promotion. I have 4 weeks vacation. I'm trying to get the weeks. No, you can't get that week. No, you can't get that week. Whereas I see other people call and, yo, I need this day. What's up, John? Because they buddy with the people in the crew office, and they get whatever they want.
Now let me ask you: are you happy with the union representation? And if you're not happy,
Absolutely not.
All right. So what do you feel needs to change with the union representation?
With the union representation, I would just love to see them have more of a voice, like within your hearing. Like like I said, I was on probation. Thank God I passed it, but I had one mistake. I had a station overrun. Super long story short. The union guy came in. He pumped it was old probationary people. They all knew. He pumped everybody up. Oh, I'm a fighter. I do this. I do that. I do this. And yes, everybody was like, yeah, I want you. I want you. He went in the room, said absolutely nothing. So everybody came out and was like, yo, where's the fight? And I'm just like, yo, I told you. You have to fight for yourself here. So I would love to see union representation just say something, even if it's at this point, and it sounds crazy because I don't want to seem like I'm settling, like that's what we always do. Even if it's the wrong thing, bro, just say something. Try to fight for me any type of way.
Yeah, I mean, people talk a good game, and then once they get in front of those people, they silent. All that tough talk goes out the window because the union reps in this union, they don't get elected because of their aptitude. They don't get elected because they're out here kicking behind. They tell any type of lies to the people. Oh, I'm the master workers comp person, or management fears me and this and that, when they really don't have no track record. You could literally count even the people who think are fighters. You gotta look at the things that they really did. They really didn't do anything, and a lot of people is delusion here, and it's all lies. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I don't think that I do a lot of work, fighting the MTA, and I still don't feel like I'm doing enough. So it's hard for me to really acknowledge people who I know is not fighting and give them props. Like I give little props to people who pick up their phone for members, pick up their phone for me, little stuff like that. But nobody is really out there kicking management behind. Nobody's not. You know what I'm saying? And it's putting us in a bad place.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to fight when that's your lunch buddy. Like y'all come in together, y'all go on lunch together. You know what I mean? That's your buddy. So I don't want to upset this friendship. So I'll just screw the member over.
Because they know that the member is not gonna hold them accountable. That's what it comes down to.
They have one thing for me when I went in there and advocated for myself, and thankfully, they threw the case out. And he looked at me, the union rep, and said, "Oh, good thing we asked questions." And I just looked at him. You said not a word. You said not a word. So that's just the culture down here. The union just goes in there and let management dictate what happened when no one was there but you.
Got you. Now, this experience that you had, did it happen recently, or just like
Yeah, no, this is recently because I just finished probation, so this is recently.
Well, congratulations for finishing probation.
Yeah, thank you. I super long story short, it's sort of kind of my mistake. I had a bad train, but we're so used to just operating and taking whatever crap we got, we take it down the road. So the train had long brakes. It slipped my mind for one stop. Oh shoot, I had long brakes. I pulled where I usually pull. Train ran out of the station. So luckily they charged it to car equipment. They didn't charge it to me. So I had no G2, no nothing written, no anything. So we go up to the hearing. Of course they call, they take you out of service, all that good stuff. I go to the hearing. So I'm telling him like, yo, they charged the car equipment. Like there's no manager's report, there's no nothing. So they wanted to extend me. So I'm just like, no, all right, cool, no problem. You want to extend me, but can I just see my G2? Oh, we don't have a G2 from you. I said, that's weird, right? So then I asked for the manager's report. So now they're calling around. Oh, there's no manager's report. So I said, I'm not a betting man, but I bet you there's no manager's report. So now they're calling around. Union. So I'm like, union. I looked at them like, all right, we got them, right? Like they don't have any paperwork on this. We're good. Oh, we'll just wait and see. We'll see what happens. Whatever. So now I'm fighting for myself. So then now finally they made the call and realized, oh, they charged the car equipment. I'm like, I know, I told you this. I never even spoke to RCC. So then she called her boss, and then they realized, oh, he's not even supposed to be here. So they threw the whole thing out. So then that's when he looked at me and said, oh, good thing we asked questions. You didn't say not a word. I did my own. I did everything myself. You said not a word.
Now, see, you brought up something important, and I echoed this probably like a year ago. We take equipment that we know is faulty because we just don't want to upset anyone. We don't want to rock the boat. We don't want to make it seem like that we're trying to be troublesome and things of that nature, right? So we do things that we know isn't right, and operating a train with long breaks is one of them. For the people who's not transit workers, long breaks on the train mean that it takes longer for that train to stop braking versus how it's supposed to operate, right? Because the MTA, when they first buy these trains, and I'm gonna give you a great example. When they first buy these trains, and if the manufacturer say, hey, this is a beautiful train, but it has long brakes, do you think the MTA is going to take that train knowing that it came from the factory with long brakes? I'm asking you,
No.
Nick. No, right? So,
No, they're not.
So they not going to take that train with long brakes. So why should the employee take the train with long brakes? As soon as you experience long brakes, you call that in. This train is not operating as designed. I don't care if a TSS come. You do not braking is a very important aspect of a train operator job. Being able to control your train and brake for numerous reasons. It could be so you won't hit a home signal and collide into another train, because when you hit a home signal, they charge you for a collision basically, right? Because the home signal protect the switch. If someone is on the road bad, if your coworker is on the road bad, and you need to brake suddenly, and the train got long brakes, braking is a very essential part of a train operator's job. You should not operate a train with long brakes. Bottom line. As soon as you experience the long brakes, RCC train got long brakes, I can't operate. Okay, we'll have a TSS discharge your train, and we'll have a TSS meet you en route. RCC, whether it's passengers on this train or not, this train is unsafe to operate because you don't only have to worry about passengers on the train, you have to worry about everything on the road bed, right? So a long breaks, you should not operate your train. What they do is that you already know they send a TSS. The TSS want to be Superman and Superwoman and say, hey, the train is good. I just have to adjust my operation. There's no adjusting your operation if it's not operating as designed. You do not adjust your operation. What you do is you hold the MTA accountable and you say, get me a train that operates as designed. Bottom line. You know how many people that I've helped a lot of people who hit signals. One of my closest friends, he hit a signal, and he was experiencing long breaks. And this is somebody who I mess with. And I'm like, yo, bro, you already know the code. If it's long breaks, you do not take that train. And he ended up hitting the signal. They tried to fry him for it. We got the maintenance report. Train operators was banging in the train, and car equipment or whoever, they never took the train off the road. So people was just operating the train with long breaks, and then he got caught and he got into an incident. And they took him through the ringer. He beat it though, but it's just unnecessary. So us as being train operators, conductors, bus operators, whatever the case is, you wouldn't operate your own personal car with long brakes because you know that the dangers of operating, faulty equipment. You hit somebody and you say your brakes was long, you're going to get sued. You're going to be held accountable, and hopefully you don't kill someone, right? But we must start standing up for ourselves, even if the spotlight is on you, because the MTA is not going to waste no time to try to discipline you when a mistake is made. The MTA, they think that we come to work to mess up. They think that we come to work to get disciplined, and they treat us like that, right? Because in their eyes, their managers can't do no wrong. Their supervisors cannot do any wrong. All the wrong is pointed at the members. And look at you. You just explained the whole entire situation where it wasn't your fault. They were still trying to hang you. And they was going out of their way to try to hang you, looking for these different reports and stuff. You know what I mean? So
100% right.
So we, as grown men and women, we must take responsibility, and we must be responsible. And part of being responsible is telling the transit authority that your equipment is not safe for me to operate. And if they send a TSS or whoever at you, and the TSS have something contradicting to say against with your statement, then tell that TSS to take that train to the terminal or whatever the case is. You do not operate that train. But these are the things that we must do to start getting the respect that we deserve, because I don't think the transit authority know how much favors that we do and how much we turn the blind eye just to keep this system moving and running. In the wintertime, some of these storm doors don't close. So train operators be freezing in that cab. You know what I'm saying? But we do what we do because we want to make this city run. But as soon as management get the chance to discipline us, they waste no time. They move quick.
Oh yeah, they swoop in. You're 100% right. So my lesson was learned on that. But you see it when you switch it in the yard, and they're burying all the dead motors. Like, oh, this has 2 dead motors, so we're gonna swap the head out in and put it to this train. And it's like, why are we burying the dead motors and putting them in conductor position when we should just fix the train? But that would be too easy.
Exactly. Why
And like
why
even
fix the train? Yeah,
just
hmm
just recently, I was in the yard on the 3, so I cut the train. You know, obviously they're burying the dead motor, so now the train wouldn't stop. Like this train was all screwed up. So I threw it in emergency. Super long story short, when you charge up, the train charges up. But then once you release brake and pull brake back, it only takes 60 pounds of brake.
Mm.
So I did the right thing. You know, I called them in, yada, yada, yada. They said, all right, cool. Don't add the train. Put it to the block, and they'll figure it out. 2 days later, they sent a new guy down the road with that train. Guess what he did? Shot right out the station.
Mm.
So now they're trying to hang him on that. And I'm just like, yo, that's the same train I just had that I told them that didn't work.
Mm.
So Transit's playing a dirty, dirty, dirty game with these trains. They know that they're messed up, and they're just sending them down the road because they need a train moving.
That's the bottom line.
And the more you're around, the more you hear. Like a couple weeks ago on the 1, I don't want to just keep giving endless stories, but it's just so people can know what's happening out here. 2 hot cars in the conductor's position. They're both tagged. RTC tells the conductor, we're well aware that they're tagged. You're holding up service. Move the train. So he's like, yo, I have 2 hot cabs. What do you mean? So they're trying to force him to go down the road. So finally he said no. So then they say, okay, fine, lay the train up. But you're telling the conductor, and this is a couple weeks ago when it was hot, to go down the road with 2 hot cabs because he's holding up service? You sound crazy. Where do you care about me? You're sitting in an air-conditioned office with no windows. You can care less what happens to me out here.
Yeah, that's wild. And RCC, they play a major role in moving unsafe equipment and having workers perform unsafe functions. You know, they don't use no common sense. I don't care what they say when, we not in the field, so we can't tell. So neither is 911 operators. You never hear 911 operators giving bad advice over the phone. They not there to witness what's going on. But when it comes to RCC, they first of all, they use intimidation. They use a certain authoritative tone to make it seem like, you have to do this. And then, the worker end up doing it. But, shout out to the workers who really take a stand on these things. And, sometimes it takes a lot of heart and courage to do it because we know how this company retaliates against anyone who complains. As soon as they think that you're a troublemaker, they're going to come for you. And that's what this company do. You want to leave the workers with any last words?
Don't just use me as an example. If the train is bad, don't go down the road. Call it in, man. We have to start standing up for ourselves and just don't lay down and take anything.
Y'all heard it from the man himself. Nick, thanks for calling in. Make sure you join the channel, man. 99 cents. Join the channel. Show some love.
I got you, bro.
All right, be good.
All right, bro.
All right. Yeah, but these are the examples that I'm talking about. We have to take a stand. They know that they could try to intimidate us and get us to do things that's unsafe, right? And don't think that because you're doing them a favor by moving unsafe equipment that if something happened, they're going to look out for you. Like, they knew that this train had long brakes, or they knew that this was wrong with the train or that was wrong with the train. If something happened, I'll be good. Let's get to the next caller. Caller 8872, you now live on Progressive Action TV. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good day, good brother. Train operator Craig, B Division.
What's going on, my brother? Thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
But there's so much. There's so much to unpack. But let's start with the as far as the RCC. Are you able to hear me clearly? Because I'm out and about.
I hear you loud and clear.
So with the RCC, and this is not to make any excuses for them, they're just old, they're out of touch, they haven't been in the field for quite some time. And if you at RCC for 10, 15 years, but you've only been at transit for 20, then you're definitely out of touch. Nothing is the same from 15 years ago. So they're asking questions, and we all know we can run through it. We give them 5,000 series. They asking about TODs. Just the foolery, right? The foolery. I'm 5632. What does your TOD say? So that lets me know, I'm deaf and blind. You playing way too much music. So something is going on, but whatever it is, that needs to get corrected. I'm still a little shocked that our president, VP, or any of our chairs haven't made a visit to either the crew office or the RCC as of yet. But anyway, just to segue into the old archaic version, here's something that I say that we should try to get into, and that's changing up the bylaws, right? In order to get to the bottom, you got to go to the bottom, and I think our bylaws is the cornerstone of a lot of the foolery that's going on. And we need to change up a couple of those things. Ricky Davis, he probably got 25 plus years.
I want you to name a couple of those things.
Number one, in order for like when it comes to the election, that the e-board vote on, let's say it's a vacancy. This vacancy, I think if I'm not mistaken, if it's over 18 months, then it's the membership. If it's under 18 months, then it's the e-board. But that's for every officer position except for the president. That's one part that needs to be changed. Definitely needs to be changed. The same two laws they can stay, but the presidency needs to be included. And that's why you can do this kind of baton kind of handoff. Oh, I can hand it off to him, I can hand it off to her, and they can keep handing it off to their friends and family. Hint, hint. So that's one of the things that I think needs to be changed. Another thing that needs to be changed, the bylaws need to be reviewed every 2 years. But here's the kicker. We have an election every 3 years. And I think no one member should be able to sit in a seat for longer than 2 terms, which would be 6 years. After that, you either go to your tools or you got to move to another position. You have to move. You can no longer sit in that position. Now, I'm not going to give my whole plan. I would love to sit with yourself and other men and women that are interested in it. But I did post it on your group page that we should try to do some revision to the bylaws, and hopefully you'll be willing and have the time to do, maybe a one part or it could be a multiple part series where we can speak about the changes that each one of us say, okay, I don't like this part of the bylaws. Here's what I suggest. Because just saying that I don't like the part without a suggestion, it's not going to work. So I decided for this weekend, I'm going to put, I'm listening, bro.
No, I got finished. You decided for this weekend.
For this weekend, I'm going to, parts 1 through 9, I'm going to work on parts 1 through 9. It's way too wordy. It's confusing. You need to remove a lot of the jargon and all of that BS out of it. And hopefully other people, I did post it to a couple of pages. Hopefully other people will link with people from their department, maybe a friend. Hopefully they're in transit and say, hey, look, let's work on this part. I don't like this part. This needs to be changed. It's too wordy, or it's too open, it's too gray. And then I think the date that I used was somewhere like on or about like the 12th of August. preferably before school starts, because I know people, they're going to be into trying to get their children back into school shopping, etc. Maybe we can come back and hopefully you will have the time to bring up some of these things. I mean, I would even be willing to email you, what my suggestions are, and if you would put it on a broadcast and just see what the members say.
Yeah,
But the member still has to want it.
we
Go
we
to your
we could do that. See, that this is the problem when it comes to the bylaws. Um, yes, we could get the members behind it, of course, and they could want to do it. Um, the problem is the e-board. The e-board gotta vote on these changes, and all the e-board members. I ain't gonna say all, but the majority, the vast majority of the e-board, they are released, which is another word for them being paid off, right? They're not independent. They are siding with the people who's controlling their release time. So they really don't have no independent voice, or they really not there for the members. The e-board is supposed to be the cushion between the executive union leadership and the members. But you got the e-board members acting like that they are a part of the executive union leadership, and that is a problem. So we couldn't this we could get thousands of members behind these changes, and we could present it to the e-board, and the e-board say no. Then what we do next? I'm asking
even with
I'm
so you're
asking you.
saying
Yeah.
even with thousands of
Hmm. Say that.
even with thousands of members behind it and the e-board say no, um, is there anything that we can because at the end of the day, okay, these bylaws, they're solid. But if we say, look, it's 20,000 of us, and we saying, nah, we're not following your bylaws anymore. If you just say no, and it has to be collective, it can't be two people, it can't be 20. If 20,000 people say, nah, we're not following that no more, you following what the hell I say, and this is what we want.
All right. So look,
They're gonna have to
now
fold at some point.
no, I'm gonna tell you why. Because the bylaws basically governs offices of the union, right? So if members saying that they not following the bylaws, it don't affect nobody. Power concedes nothing
Mm,
without power concedes nothing without a demand. In order for you to get this union administration to listen, you got to hurt them financially some type of way, right? So you have to go after cope. Don't give them money to go party with politicians. You have to go. Some
I'm
people,
glad you brought that up.
there's a lot of people talking about they don't want to pay union dues no more. Now, as radical and anti-union as that sound, it makes perfect business sense, because why would someone continuously want to spend their money um on a service that they're not getting, right? So in order to get this union administration attention, because they not about being democratic, they not about getting more members involved. They
I
are
agree.
they are about
I agree.
they are about corruption and holding on and hoarding that power for as long as that they can, right? So we must find a way how to hurt them. You can hurt them during elections. You could get candidates to run against them and vote for those candidates. But we can't have five different candidates running for that position, because we only go split the vote, right? So we have to be
I
smart.
agree.
We have to threaten them on three levels: voting them out, um, voting them out, holding. I mean, a matter of fact, it's probably like 4 or 5 different levels. You could vote them out. You could withdraw from COPE,
Electronically.
huh?
Electronically vote them out.
I mean, see, but that's another thing. A lot of members want electronic voting. That has to go through the e-board. Like we 40,000 members could want electronic voting, If 55 e-board members say no, then guess what? We're not getting electronic voting, right? That's just how it works. So how can you hold them accountable? How can you get the union to say we got to start listening to these members because you want to know what? We have no more money in COPE. We have no more money in COPE. We can't go to different shindigs and all these different galas. So to take pictures with these politicians to go show our family and friends how cool we are because we know that they don't go there for our issues. Our issues be the reason, be the alibi for them to get next to these politicians. None of our issues never get addressed legislatively. You could count the legislative victories that we got the past 10 years, and it's probably like two or three, the most, right? So
Hmm.
why are we paying all this coat money when we not getting nothing legislatively? Every time they give us, look at us, we still getting our behinds kicked on the job. There's no legislation to protect transit workers from assaults. They've been giving us crumbs. Oh, if you get assaulted, it's going to be a misdemeanor. If you now we're going to add more people to the assault bill. Now cleaners is added to the assault bill. All right, so legislatively you added them to the assault bill, but it still don't deter assaults on us because there's no real deterrent on workers when it comes to assaults. There's no bills in place. There's no laws in place. You pay coat money so they could lobby to politicians and get laws that benefit transit workers. There's no laws on the books that benefit transit workers, at least the ones that we really need,
That, that,
right? So,
that's the key, though. What you said is lobby, right? I mean, and this is not to hurt anybody's feelings, but voting is for poor people, and they already look at us that way. Lobbying is for the wealthy, mentally wealthy, socially wealthy, and monetarily wealthy. And that's the sad part about it. We're lacking in a couple of areas, you know, and we need to stop asking people like the governor, or the MTA. Stop asking them for different things that we have to go with. And I'm gonna have to bring this brother's name up, Dr. Claude Anderson. He really has the answer. That Powernomics thing is really the answer. We got to get our minds right first, because I don't care how much money you throw at this issue. You could, I mean, right now somebody could step on the scene with $10 million and say, "Look, I'm ready to support you, progressive action." But if the minds of the people is still filthy, it don't matter how much money you throw at whatever organization that you want to throw at it. We got to get our minds right first. And as being from Brooklyn, you get your mind right, and your money is gonna be right. Then you'll be ready for war.
that's a fact. That is a fact. For if y'all want to read a good Dr. Claude Anderson book, you could check out um Black Label White Wealth. It's a lot of information in that book. You read that book, it would change your
Dope
mindset.
ass book.
Huh?
That is a dope book.
Yeah. You
That's dope.
you read that book, it would the first couple of chapters would change your mindset.
Yes, it will.
Y'all see what I
I've
got?
read
Y'all see what I got
all
on my head?
all of that.
Y'all see the hat I got on my head? I'm wearing this all the time now. We need more black billionaires. I'm around I'm around some serious people now. I am in circles that you can't pay to get in. I'm letting them know that we need more black billion, not millionaires. It seems like anybody can make a million nowadays, but billionaires. We need more black
Mhm.
billionaires. We gotta get serious about our economics. And on this show, we talked about economics a little bit earlier of how the MTA use economic slavery to control us. This is a fact. If you read books, if you understand how economics
Mhm.
work, you understand how slavery work. The MTA use economic slavery. You don't have to be on a plantation with whips and chains and cotton and be in the field to be defined as a slave. The MTA use economic
Agree.
slavery to control us. But I want you to have the final word before I get off because I gotta go get some food.
It all comes out in the wash.
Look how simple. Look how simple he made that. That's why I like him. You know, he hit me with a line that I use. In order to get to the bottom, you got to go to the bottom, and then you know it all comes down in the wash. I heard my mother say that a trillion times, but he likes to keep it simple. Sometime on Facebook, he could be a little bit, but when he talk on the phone, I enjoy talking with him on the phone because he speaks simple and he don't speak over
Hold on, but
you.
you checked me on that a long time ago. That's why I started to simplify things. You've been like, yo, bro, you're not gonna get anywhere unless you do this.
Yeah, and you see you resonating with the people, especially when you on this when we speak on the phone through this live. You know, you resonate with the people. So I'm proud that you made the adjustment because I believe that you do have a voice and you could definitely create some change here. And you're going to do that in the future. I believe that.
I look forward to working with you, your team, and anybody that you bring forward. I have the tools. Hint, hint. I got the tools. I'm ready, brother T2.
All right, we'll speak later, my brother.
All right, look forward.
All right, peace. That was LaShawn Craig, train operator. Know him for a very long time. He knows my family and all that other stuff, so he's good people. But this is what I need for you guys to do. I need you guys to like this video right now. Like the video. Like. Please, I'm asking you. It costs nothing to share out the video. Put this on your Facebook page. Put this wherever you can embed a video. Share out the video. Let the members know that they have people who's advocating. I have people call in where we could brainstorm. You see what Craig just did. He was giving ideas. He's thinking. That's what we need. We need thinkers. He's thinking. He's like, yo, bro, I'm looking at the bylaws. We need to change X, Y, and Z. Right? That's what we need. We need thinkers. We need doers. Shout out to Nick. Nick called in and Nick voiced his opinion. You know, he said basically this job is going to be for college students very soon. And I've said that maybe like 8, 9 years ago when I first came to transit. So we need people who's forward thinking. We need people who's not afraid to call in. I don't care if you're a supervisor. I don't care if you're hourly. I don't care if you're a manager. I don't care if Jano Lieber called himself. We must have these conversations. It's very imperative. Now, if you want to donate to the platform, you see that right there. Progressive Action 100, that's the Cash App. If you want to join the channel so you will be able um to write comments on the YouTube. I'm not putting these videos on Facebook. This is all straight YouTube. If you want to comment on the YouTube channel on the video so I could see it, I could read your comment, I could give you a shout out, whatever the case may be. Make sure to join the channel. It's only 99 cents a month. I'll catch you guys later. I'm going to work on this sound. I don't know why it's like this, but I'm going to work on it. And I'll get to you guys later. Peace.